go. Ready?
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Shift.
On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Done. 280.
Mike 54. I got you.
This is Corey Clement, the 3rd-year back from Wisconsin. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
On the tackle. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Danny. Right there. 54. Right there.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that is incomplete here. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 3rd and short.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here we go.
65.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
third down, it's Prescott. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Wentz now on 1st down. And Sanders has got it complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hey, high 7.
Throwing now is Wentz. Throw out right, hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Mike.
180.
Mike, spot 4.
Let's go.
Right there.
Let's go, kill.
Right there. 54, Mike. Let's go.
Move.
It's our time.
Done.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Great 57. Hey, zoom.
Check 55, Mike.
Here we go. Chance. Here.
You got motion man. You got motion man right there.
Mike, 50.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. On 4th down, out is the punter Cameron Johnston to boot it away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They'll run on 1st down. Elliott, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Let's go, team.
Here we go, 46.
It's going to be a long
26. 26.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott. And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on the comebacker. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Prescott. Being chased out left. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Hey, let's go. Run it. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check 13. Check 13.
Prescott to throw it. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On 1st down, it's Elliott, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Prescott from the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 3rd touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. To throw is Prescott. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Zach Brown in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Check three.
Throwing, Prescott. The 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance.
I'm coming after you. Hey, alert 3.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Don't be mad. There's more coming.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here we go.
On play action, Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well, and they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Prescott now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. They'll run with Elliott. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Prescott from the gun on third. Hard throw, incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
He's 6'6", pull it high. Check 49,
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
We're 5-2. Come here. Here,
54. Mike 54. You can't.
Wentz. He's got him in, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Hey, Echo.
On first down, Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Running on first down with Ware. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
That's what I'm talking about.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
56.
They run again with Ware. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Prescott down. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And he lost the football. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we are tied at 14. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Go. 280!
Check. Walk 54. Here we go, D.
Here, shift. Sunday. Listen!
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check 37.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out, and I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Get in the weight room. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
Here, shift.
Let's go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give it.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions, and you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year, but he's really on the uptick. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly. Here comes the pressure, and the Eagles get there to block it. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
I got you. Check safety, check safety.
A first down throw for Prescott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Check 9, check 9.
They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Looking to throw. Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Sunday!
54 is Mike. 54 is
Any weapon.
54.
I'm bringing it to you.
They'll go again with Sanders. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. A first down and then some. 36 yards. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, fourth quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
I'm about to find out. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
56 for Mike. 56.
Here's Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Go! Let's go!
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
At the 46-yard line.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Another run here with Sanders. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit at 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Big stop, let's go!
Prescott. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
He's crossing. He's checking crack.
Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Kill. 47. Over 154.
56. Tighten up. Pull it together. Slam. Whip. Watch the whip. Check.
26.
Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
What we got?
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
Mike 51. Watch the backer.
Shoot. Watch the shoot.
Jim.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.